Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Heather again, here with another emetophobia update. So I do have some things that have been asked of me recently that I'd like to go over with you guys, but first I'd like to just kind of do a status update and discuss some things that I've been doing as far as challenges and my recovery. So, the last couple of weeks, I have been doing a lot of different things, food-wise, because I'm sure, as most of you know, I had a lot of issues with food, with my emetophobia. So, just more challenges with eating things I'm not familiar with, or going out, or, it's really not, I don't know, I guess it's really not a challenge anymore, so I can probably stop doing that now. I don't even think about it. It's not uncomfortable in the least. I don't have any problem eating whatever and eating a big meal and feeling full anymore. So that's been really good. Let's see, I took my mom on a float of the river. I haven't done a river float in years now. You know, it's a windy, yucky road you have to go on to get there. You know, and then you're stuck in a boat in the sun in 100-degree weather. And you know, you've got to stay hydrated, and there's a bunch of drunk people around all the time, and so I've kind of avoided doing that, but this year it really sounded like fun. So I went ahead and I invited my mom over. We aired up the rafts, strapped them to the top of our SUV, and off we went. And that was a really good time. You know, I started to feel a little sick towards the end of the day just because it was so hot. Not a big deal though. You know, we came home, showered. The very next thing we did was go out and have a big dinner with my in-laws. So that was really a good experience, not to feel so trapped in, you know, my house. So we did that, and okay, sorry, we're multitasking here. And yesterday was really good. Yesterday was a really positive experience for me because we had a company meeting 2 hours away. So my supervisor rented a big SUV, and I was like, yeah, fine, I'll take the back seat, I don't care. I mean, you know, because I figured one of the gentlemen would like to ride up front with more room, more leg room. But, you know, he offered it to me when we all got in the rigs yesterday morning, and I was like, no, really, it's fine, you can sit up there. And he actually, I guess, preferred the back seat. So anyway, we did that. We drove a couple of hours. I kind of felt a little yucky for a little bit, but there was no panic. I wasn't concerned about it. If I needed to be sick, I was going to be sick. What are you going to do? So that wasn't a big deal. We went and stopped at a coffee stand. We grabbed some breakfast, and I grabbed another beverage, and we went off to the company meeting. I participated. You know, it was a big group of like 30 of us, and we were all in this big room. I hadn't met 90% of the participants. So, you know, previously I would have kind of sat in the back and not done anything, but now I talked to the girls around me, and I didn't feel the least bit nervous with the one of the CFOs sitting behind me. None of that. Felt fine on the way home. You know, it was really good just to be able to go and participate in a company meeting like a normal person and not think about it. It wasn't a big deal. So, and I think that if I continued to do updates like this, it would all be just the same thing. It's not a big deal anymore, and it really isn't. So the last thing that I will talk about is, for updates wise, for the last couple of weeks, is our anniversary trip. If you've been watching these from the beginning, the sick, sad, scared woman that you met all those months ago got sick, or I felt like I broke on that anniversary trip last year. So we have decided to not only take our trip this year, but we're going to take an entire week instead of just 3 days, and we're going to be going a lot farther. So as an 8-year-old, 8 or 9, my parents wanted to do a summer trip, and I absolutely refused to go. I was not going to do it. They wanted to go we lived in Southern California at the time. They wanted to go all the way up to Wyoming to do Yellowstone and do camping and do all sorts of fun stuff. And I was so terrified. I screamed and hollered and pitched a fit. And being an only child, they let me stay. I was dropped off with my aunt and uncle a little north in California, and away my parents went. I still have the postcards to this day from my parents when they were down in Wyoming. So I am going to do that this year. We're going to go down through Oregon into Idaho, see some stuff and things there, and then we're going to go over to Wyoming, up through Montana, and then back down. And I'm really excited about it. I think that is going to be almost a full circle thing for me, where, as one of my youngest emetophobic memories is that trip, is skipping that trip. And missing all of the really cool things. And that was, 20 some years ago, and I won't be able to see the things the way they were back then. Things are a lot different, and there's a lot more human impact on those areas, and that's kind of sad. But so we really do look forward to that. And I guess there's one more thing with the parenthood thing for us, with the fertility thing. We've been having some trouble with that, and both my husband and I were really concerned about how I would feel, how I would fare with the ups and downs of that process. But I've been really obsessing about it, and I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, or what kind of thing it is. But I've been putting a lot of thought into it, and testing and charting and this, that, and trying to get it done. And with the meds and everything, meds weren't a big deal. Dealt with the side effects, whatever. But this time around, we did not do it, and we didn't make it. So missed the deadline, missed the mark, whatever. I don't know. So that was really unfortunate. That was a really tough day Wednesday. And I was really worried about how it would affect me, how it would affect my week, and my life overall, and if I would fall back, if I would. I put a lot of ifs into it, and then just on the way home from work, I had a really good cry, and by the time my husband got home, I was still sad and disappointed, but I'm rolling with it. There's nothing you can do. There's a lot of things that I control in my life, a whole lot of things that I do now control, but that just isn't one of them. That's not something that I have control over. And so what I do have control over is how I react to this experience. And I have a new procedure coming up at the end of next week, and I guess I'm a little nervous about it. Doesn't sound like fun, but the other thing with that company trip, I didn't take any, I've left my meds out of my bag all this time. I didn't take them to the river with me, which I used to take them everywhere with me. I didn't take them on the company trip either. Even though I was going to be in a car, and I had planned on being in the back seat, and I didn't take any of that stuff with me. I haven't taken it at all. So that's been really good. So on to one of the things I wanted to address is, I get that question a lot, are you really cured? I think I might have talked about this a little bit before. Yeah, I am. Am I really cured? Yes, I am. I'm not paid by Rob or any consultant, or I'm not getting any kickback or any free anything. I'm not. I paid for my book just like everybody else. I paid for my Kindle version and my paperback version just like everybody else. I buy my journals. Yes, this program has made a difference for me. It really has, and so much so that I have really seriously have been putting some thought into becoming a consultant, because there is no one here in the US that does consulting, and I really want to help people get where I am, because where I was not a good place. So to answer that question, yes, I really am cured. We're going to be doing work on ourselves for the rest of our lives. We're always, it doesn't matter if you're emetophobic or not, you're always growing and changing as a person. You're not the same person you were 5 years ago or 2 years ago or maybe even last year. And there's always going to be things that happen to us or happen in our lives that we can become affected by. And, you know, we need to continue to work on ourselves and just really be happy with the things that we can control and that we enjoy, and the other stuff is just temporary. It's not a permanent thing. It's not something that you have to drag yourself down with and obsess over. And so yes, I am cured. Another thing that I get asked a lot is, well, have you been sick since? And no, I haven't thrown up since curing myself. Again, going back to the very throwy up people, we're just not. And it could be next week, it could be next year, it could be 5 years from now. I mean, I could get pregnant next month and start puking my brains out. I don't know. So no, I haven't been sick since I cured myself, but it's not a big deal. It's not the end of the world from what I do remember from the times that I have thrown up. You know, your body does just kind of take over, and for me, I don't choke or gag or have any problems breathing. My body takes over, it gets rid of it, and whatever. Let's see, one of the other things is, well, you know, my emetophobia is different because, well, yeah, it is different. Mental illness is different for everybody. Health is different for everybody. You've got different genetics. Your thoughts and behaviors are different from your mom or your brother or your cousin or your sister, or, I mean, everybody's different. So, yeah, it is different, but it doesn't mean you can't get here to where I am or to where any other thriver is. We're all different people, and we've all had different experiences, and that the disorder has manifested itself in whatever way it has. And, you know, this program works for everybody. I mean, look at all the different types of disorders that it's helped people with. If you keep an eye on Rob's Facebook page, or in any of the other consultants, the videos that get posted, people with fibromyalgia and suicidal tendencies and anxiety and just all sorts of disorders and problems, and it's helped us all. We all have that one common thread, is that it has helped us all. So I am really excited to see what comes out of Rob's latest project with the Research Institute. So I'll keep an eye on that. Again, I'm not sure where these updates are gonna go, because I feel like I keep saying the same thing. Yeah, I'm here, I'm doing great, it's whatever. If we get sick, we get sick. I mean, my husband picked something up off the floor last night, and just everything makes him gag. Everything makes him gag. And I used to just cover my ears and just wait for him to stop, you know, or I would kind of cover my ears but then wait to see if he was throwing up so that I could run. But yeah, he had some pretty serious gagging last night after he picked something up off the floor. We have pets, they bring in all sorts of stuff from outside. And I couldn't stop laughing at him. I know it was horrible, but I couldn't stop laughing at his misfortune. So that was kind of amusing for me. And so yeah, again, I don't know where the update thing's gonna go. I may just completely turn this into an obsessed, thriving woman trying to get knocked up. I don't know. But I hope that whatever I have put out here has been helpful. And and that if I've had any contact with you outside of these videos, that I've been helpful or it's been a positive experience. I'm really, I'm open to talking to people and providing, my story and my experience. Just remember, I am not a consultant yet. I'm not a consultant. I'm not a therapist. I'm not anything. I'm just another emetophobic that has been helped by this program and really wants to see others helped as well. So until next time, I hope everybody is doing well, and I look forward to hearing from many of you guys again. So take care.